What were the wacky new playtest cards at MagicCon Las Vegas? Let me fill you in. Good morning, Magic. I'm Gavin Verhey from Wizards of the Coast. And MagicCon Las Vegas once again featured the Unknown events, which totally filled up and had a whole host of new playtest cards. This time around, in a very rare occasion for me, I could only be there Friday. I had my friend's wedding on Saturday to attend. I would have loved to be there, but seeing my friends get married was very important to me. So I recruited this upstart young designer, I think he might really be going places, named Mark Rosewater to help out and run the events on Saturday and Sunday, alongside Rules Guru, Matt Tabak. Mark and Matt were eager to pitch in and be part of the Unknown team, and both of them made cards for the event. And Tabak did something marvelous, which was flex his editing skills to actually edit the cards properly, and provide some witty parentheticals in the text as well. The event was commander sealed using Mystery Booster 2, ignoring the color identity rule to help you with playing the legends you wanted. And one thing I loved too is that the event on Saturday benefited Extra Life charity. It always makes me smile when people can play Magic for a good cause. But what were all of the new cards this time around, and what did they do? Let me walk you through them. I'm pulling out of my driveway, everybody. You all know what that means. It's time for another Drive to Work. One of the fun things I thought I'd do is make some cards that referenced Mark Rosewater being there. And so this Flicker variant, not actually designed by Mark Rosewater, gives you a little bonus if you add in a story. The Tokenator makes all kinds of wacky tokens. This gives you a ton of variety, and I saw people have a lot of fun with what tokens they were making. That reminder text, by the way, was given a perfect addition by Matt Tabak with the "if you're really sure." That's what I meant, by the way, by witty parentheticals. Okay, next I'm going to show you a whole group of cards. These are all the cards Mark Rosewater made. I told him he could do anything he wanted, and he ended up wanting to make 7 cards, each one featuring the stages of Magic design. Mark wrote an article earlier this year talking about the 7 stages of design, breaking the history of Magic down into stages. His idea for each of these cards was that the card mechanic would reflect something we do at that part in the process. So, for example, the first stage of Magic design represents the very beginning, Alpha through Alliances. And so the card to represent this has you casting the 5 Alpha boons. A big thanks to Mark Rosewater for making these cards for the event. Moving along, the Keeper of 4 Sides is a throwback for all of you Deranged Hermit fans out there. What if instead of squirrels, they were equipment? Deranged Hermit was one of Aaron 4 Sides' favorite cards from his time as a pro, and I love a take on it that doesn't just make creatures. Hosting season is an interesting one. Because Mark, Matt, and I split duties for this event, I thought it would be fun to make at least one card that played with that. So hosting season, during the date I hosted, lets you get copies of your commander because I'm a commander guy. If it's a date Mark was hosting it, you double your tokens, because Mark loves doubling and made doubling season. And hey, if you happen to play with it outside of those times, go wild. The 6th Seraph is such a clean one-line. Maybe we'll even find a place to do this someday. I love the idea of demonstrating to both help yourself out and also give people gifts. Lots of fun to be had here. What if you just didn't want to play Commander? The Highland Runner has you play Canadian Highlander instead. This is the first card we're seeing with the Ready to Run mechanic, and these gamers are all happy to work together. It's a partner variant, like Friends Forever, where you can use any 2 of them as your commander. You'll see more of them later. But for now, let's talk about something else that impacts the start of the game, the Covert Blue Mage. This commander lets you increase your deck size above 100. Yes, you can Battle of Wits with this, but this card is really made to combo with Yorion. It even has an Enters ability so you can blink it. Perfection. Okay, so in Amsterdam, we ran a You Make the Unknown card panel where the audience made 3 cards. And those 3 cards showed up here in Vegas. The first of them, the Fearsome Flock. This wild card really doesn't fit on a Magic playtest card, but that's right, who's counting anyway? The prompt was something like a crow that steals shiny things, and here we are. And yes, making it a treasure grants it the ability to sacrifice for a mana, and makes it lose all other abilities. Go steal all their stuff. Have you ever wanted to win the game through counter magic? Well, the Countering Runner is the next card in the Ready to Run cycle, and this one just loves countering spells. It gives your opponent psychic damage, and 20 psychic damage wins you the game. Only the truly dedicated can pull this one off. I believe in you. The Cosplacer Clones with Style. This crafty clone lets you not only get 2 copies of a legend because it has a different name, but lets you copy its abilities. This is a fun one to build with, and I look forward to people saying creatures with a Z in front. Zark Mage Emeritus, Zemri Lurker of the Loch, Zamul Drifter. Okay, I'll stop stretching. Mark Ritual is a name that's just too good. The joke basically writes itself there, and I love it so much. A fun side effect was having so many players run over to me or other designers to try and get it signed. Just a great time. Matt Tabak, Las Vegas local, designed some cards as well, and here's one of his. I hear this card needs to come out of its cage, but then it'll be doing just fine. It's a card that really makes you ask the question, how did it end up like this? The Gunky Runner is the next in line for the runners, and this is for all those Gunk fans out there. It started with fan favorite Gunk Slug, evolved in Mystery Booster 2 with Fludge, and now goes all the way here. You can really try and gunk them out with this card. The Archenemy's Charm is a fun one that plays into the return of Archenemy in Duskmourn Commander. You can either cast Choose Your Demise, Every Hope Shall Vanish, or Make Yourself Useful. All pretty strong effects for just triple black. Use them wisely. Another Night in Vegas is a card designed by Tabak, and actually an unknown card referencing a previous unknown card. Last year's card, Night Out in Vegas. Is this the first time that has happened? Maybe we're making history here, folks. Anyway, it has 4 more effects for you to toy around with. Okay, so with Duskmourn I had this idea of doing some fears that were a little atypical, and Fear of going 0-2 drop is just that. Quite the real fear Magic players have, more so than the people stuck on Duskmourn. A solid card in its own right, it really picks up power if you have 1 loss. The Wily Speedster says you gotta go fast. Each turn you pick 1 of 3 things to do, and keep in mind it can target itself to attack right away, but even the continual ping is plenty nice on its own to pick off tokens and the like. The Wheeling Runner is a card for people who really enjoy playing with whatever they've been dealt. This card gives you a hand of random cards. It is a totally wacky design, and it can lead to some incredible stories. Who knows what you're going to be casting with this on the battlefield? At least It's a Dry Heat is a card Matt Tabak sent me, and I just laughed out loud. Perfect, no notes. The only thing I added was the Stuffy Doll Redirection Avoidance. So good. The Powerful Dragon is a dragon that is just happy to teach people. This red card advantage machine is a card I could actually imagine us making, as it makes for a fun +1/+1 counter build around in red. Lots of fun to be had here. Ah! The Fear of Unsleeved Decks is here. You get a 4-mana 5/5 trample for the low cost of playing your deck unsleeved. Spooky. Though as someone who doesn't often play with sleeves unlimited, this doesn't scare me. I'm old school. The Paradise Bird wants to include everybody. It creates Bird of Paradise tokens to help you cast literally anything you want to put in your deck. Or just build mono green birds? Yeah, that one is going to be a little harder. Really fun card that pushes at the edges of Commander. Uzavite is a card made by the people at the You Make the Card panel in Amsterdam. It's a wacky one that really lets you move around counters and use them in all kinds of different ways as a callback to Pentabus. Fun and silly card. Clean Fair Magic is another card made by the panel at Amsterdam. This really takes care of whatever is bothering you. Get it out of here. Funnily enough, the audience didn't know it at the time, but this is very similar to the Mystery Booster 2 card, Naturalized 2. Sometimes design works in parallel. The Bear Force Pilot Runner is new, kind of. It's an updated version of the Bear Force Pilot with the runner bit added in. I guess that makes for another card that references a previous unknown card. The flavor text here for me is one of my favorite little touches. The Chaos Keeper is meant for lovers of Chaos Draft. Put a pack under it and keep drawing cards out of it. It leaves the battlefield, find a new pack. Get some fresh cards both into your hand and into your collection. The Multiplayer Nitpickers is one of the weirder ones of this batch. How does it work? It's complicated. Treat opponents and players like there are one more. It definitely prompted a lot of questions. But my hope is that somebody out there builds a really wacky commander deck with it. I'm not even sure how far the depths of this madness goes, but I'm excited to find out. The Milling Runner is another runner and does pretty much what it says. It punches through and mills you over and over again. Can you outrace the Milling Runner? The Caffeinated Runner, on the other hand, loves coffee. Drink up and gain speed by letting your creature untap when it becomes tapped, whether from attacking or anything else. Behold, the power of coffee. The Actualizer plays a little minigame with your opponent. You read some qualities about a card and then lie about one of them. Can your opponent guess what it is? This will have you saying, actually a lot. And I love that about it. The 5th alias is here. What happened to the first 4 aliases? Don't worry about it. I love the idea of making a list of cards you hope to draw and can miracle. All game, you're just hoping to draw them while the alias is on the table and not draw it before it's out. I saw a lot of people using this one as a commander, and it was a big hit. The Weekly Princess plays with the idea of day and night mattering. You want to get to a full week. If you can do that, you get to deal more damage. My favorite little touch is that it stops being day or night when she goes away. Because, yeah, nobody wants to track that. The Bus Runner gives you something wild, a desert vehicle. This card puts you on a quest to play with a bunch of gamers, which all the other runners are, to get your bus down to 0 counters. Then you get to drain them for 1 point and play again. I saw somebody kill their opponent with that 1 point drain on a stalled board, which I find extremely delightful. The Majestic Duo gives out good luck and high fives to all that cross its path. It's 2 commanders in one, each with their own thing going on. Take the high five. What's the worst that could happen? The Judge of Height wants to be as tall as possible. This is a fun new little thing to count. I don't know if it's an accurate measure of height, but hey, who's going to argue with a giant wizard? The Zonian Brawler has you play Brawl. Yes, Canadian Highlander and Brawl in one unknown set, let the chaos ensue. I also love that it makes biting an action so much easier. Have fun brawling in whatever way you choose. The Cobra King is one out there for all those Coma fans. Strike first, strike hard, and show no mercy as you keep putting snakes onto the battlefield. Zimone's Homework is another Matt Tabak design. And, yeah, this one is pretty self-explanatory. You got it. You know all these, right? Right? Sharp Eraser was one of the wackiest cards in the event. It lets you erase words from Magic cards. There were so many good stories with this, but my two favorites, a player whose deck was this, Thassa's Oracle and lands, so you could try and make it say when this enters you in the game every time, and a player who Sharp Erasered his other Sharp Eraser to remove the text that says as long as the card still makes sense. You're in for some chaos with this one. And finally, Fear of the Unknown. This card represents the sideboard as the unknown place playtest cards live. Ooh, be afraid of the unknown. That's all the new cards people could get by playing, but there is one more. The prize card. Everybody who played got a copy of the Unknown Wizard at the end. This 5-color commander makes you really want to build a 5-color legendary playtest card deck, and I look forward to seeing them. Well, that's a wrap on Vegas Unknown and the 2024 Unknown events. I hope you all enjoyed seeing all the wild cards this year. Have any favorites? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll talk with you again soon, and until next time, may you have a blast with strange cards. You got this.
Who's that guy? I was informed that the gift from Sheldon's spellbook had its final total come to a whopping $2.1 million. It's not just the largest Secret Lair product-driven donation we've done, but it's the largest fan-driven philanthropic gift for all of Hasbro ever.